So Pixar is back with their latest animated movie. After a 6-month delay, they have finally released Soul on Disney Plus. So Soul tells the story of Joe Gardner, who has been living his entire life chasing one dream to become a professional jazz player. As soon as he gets the opportunity, that exact day he falls down a manhole and he dies. And then the whole movie is telling the story about him trying to get back to his life so he can live on, telling his dream. That's all I've known for about 2 years now, and ever since I heard that concept, I've been amazed to see what's going to happen. Since that concept was announced, everyone has been comparing this movie to Inside Out. Without getting into spoilers, I am going to confidently telling you it is nothing like Inside Out. Inside Out for me is, I'd say, in around 15, 16 of my Pixar ranking, where this movie is in the top 10 somewhere. I just thought this movie was fantastic. The story of this movie is a story that it's hard to say this is a kids animated movie. I watched it with my entire family, and then my dad said at the end, I don't understand how a kid can watch that because it's so complex, and it makes complete sense. This movie, I feel, is very much more targeted at adults, more so like even it's Pixar is good in the way of doing that, where you look at, say, a movie of Toy Story 4 and you just think it's Woody and the gang, but then you can look at it from a different perspective, and it's a father trying to see what he can do after his kids have grown up and moved out. That's one of the beauties of Pixar. They're able to kind of make it a family movie where kids see one thing and an adult sees a different thing. And what I see on this movie, I thought was fantastic. Seeing a man who was so desperate to get back to the life he had because he thought this was his one chance, this is the chance he's been waiting for his entire life, and he's going to do anything he can to get back to his life, I thought was just beautiful. The voice cast, our two main cast members, Jamie Foxx, who I just thought, as far as I know, this is the first thing he's ever animated, but I just felt his voice just blended so perfectly with the animated voice. Even though I knew it was Jamie Foxx, I just didn't register that was Jamie Foxx throughout the movie, because when I heard the voice, I immediately thought of Joe Gardner. I thought he did an absolutely fantastic job portraying the role here. As well, you got Tina Fey playing 22. Now, Tina Fey I didn't think was as good in the way that I could tell it was Tina Fey. I knew straight away it was Tina Fey as she was talking. But a lot of the humour in this movie comes from her, which makes sense. She is a comedic actress. I thought she was brilliant in the movie as well, just not as good as Jamie Foxx, because I was able to separate Jamie Foxx from the character of Joe Gardner. But the story as well, we're trying to see the two of them working together, both on Earth and both on in the Soul world. The Soul world itself, I love the design of it. They have very simplistic designs, especially on some of the kind of afterlife characters who are not souls. The simplistic design of their animation I thought was absolutely stunning. The whole movie itself is stunning. There's so many scenes, especially on Earth, looking at, say, Joe's apartment, and you're looking at it, and those scenes, and I was thinking, that looks like an actual apartment, or on the streets of New York. It looks like an actual street in New York rather than animated streets of New York. And as I said at the start, everyone was comparing this movie to Inside Out when it was first announced. And you kind of understand Inside Out was about the inside of someone's mind. This is about someone's soul. You can see the similarities, but the movies are completely different. The way this movie is told, where the first movie is a journey, this movie is also a journey actually in a way, but they're completely different. I thought Inside Out was a fairly predictable movie where I knew what was going to happen, but this movie I had no idea what was going to happen. Literally, as I was going into it, I was expecting it to be one thing, and it completely shifted and went a completely different way. Even my rest of my family, who had no idea, all they knew was Soul, new Pixar movie, but they watched it and they had no idea what was going to happen. And it's just one of those movies that I had no idea what was going to happen. As I was playing it, I didn't know which way it was going to go. I didn't know if it was going to work out in the end, or if it wasn't going to work out in the end, just because the way the movie was constructed, it just kept going and going, and I was never wondering how long was left. I thought this movie, it could be another hour left, it could be 10 minutes left, I have no idea. The movie just kept going and going, and I thought it would build up to a fantastic finale. Now, the supporting characters in this movie, there isn't many of them, but the ones that are there really lend to the story well. One in particular, Joe Gardner's wife, or not wife, his mother. A interesting relationship is there that we don't see an awful lot of, but even though we don't get to see an awful lot of it, we actually get a pretty big, impactful, emotional scene throughout them. I think this movie is just, I was actually blown away. Going into it, I wasn't really sure what to expect, because they put it straight to Disney Plus. Looking at the movies we've had this year that went straight to streaming, just to look at with Disney anyways. Mulan, I thought was crap. Artemis Fowl, I thought was crap. So I was going into this movie going, is this gonna be a Disney dud because they're putting it straight to Disney Plus as well? They weren't putting a premiere access, so I didn't really know what to expect. But honestly, I was blown away, and I have this at the moment. Soul is my favorite movie of the year. Only one other movie I want to watch before I do a top 10. If I am going to do a top 10, I don't even think I am because there wasn't really many movies. But Finding the Way Back is the only thing I can think of that might top this because I'm just amazed by it. I still haven't watched it, I don't know why. But Soul at the moment is my favourite movie of the year. I was not expecting it to be my favourite movie of the year. It overtook The Invisible Man, which has been there since February. And I was blown away. I can't say enough. I was blown away. This is the second year in a row Pixar has made the best movie of the year, in my opinion, and I'm excited to see what they do in 2021. Whatever Pixar movie comes out, I'm gonna be there day one, as I am every year or every time Pixar puts out a movie, because every year so far since 2016, I think is when I actually started seeing them. I don't know, whatever year I started seeing them in cinemas, but they just, every time Pixar just knocks it out of the park, and this is one of those Pixar classics that everyone's going to be looking back on the years, just like the ones I got behind me. Like, you kind of see the other ones like a Bug's Life, or say a Cars, or a Monsters University. They're Pixar movies, but no one really talks about them. But you look upon them, you got Ratatouille, you got Coco, you got like a little Buzz Lightyear, and you got Monsters Inc. All these Pixar classics. I think Soul is going to be compared to these in a few years. Even more recent ones like an Inside Out, or even A Good Dinosaur. Everyone, when Inside Out came out, everyone was blown away saying it was amazing. It's not really talked about much anymore. I imagine Soul is going to be like one of these movies, like Coco, which only came out in 2017. People still talk about that, and I think Soul is going to be in the exact same position, because Soul was just an absolutely fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, I cannot recommend this movie enough for you, just for not only for the story but for the animation alone. This movie is stunning, amazing story, absolutely fantastic. I absolutely adored it. I'm actually probably going to watch it again in the next couple of days because I enjoyed it that much. But let me know your opinion on Soul in the comment section down below. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know all that in the comment section down below. Also, if you want to see an updated ranking of the Pixar movies, I'm going to be doing that in the next probably couple of days, if not a week. So if you want to see my updated ranking on the Pixar movies with Soul included, click that subscribe button so you can come back when I do that video. But as always, thanks for watching.